Hi everyone, Becky Arnold with Chase International in Tahoe City. And I'm asked this question all the time. How can I have the best vacation rental in Lake Tahoe? So I'm here to share a few tips on what will separate your house from the others in terms of having a successful vacation rental in North Lake Tahoe. So yes, it does come down to location, location, location. And the better locations do cost more to purchase, but you will also get a higher nightly rent. But location is not maybe what you always think it may be. So in the summer months, tenants are always looking for private lake access, any amenities you might have, if there are access to tennis courts, pools, the lake, that will all certainly help. In the winter months, tenants are looking for a house that's close to the ski area. So if you can find that sweet spot between a house close to town and restaurants and shopping and close to the ski areas, you found a perfect property. And you probably don't have to do a whole lot else to it. But if you can't find a house with all those amenities and things, here's some other little tips on things you can do to make your house stand out from the rest. So we talked about location. And again, if you have a house that is walking distance to any restaurants, shopping, bike trails, things of that nature, it will certainly help. Walkability is a wonderful thing. People love to park their car and start their vacation immediately. And next, I'd like to talk about a hot tub. So whether you have a condominium or a house, if there's a hot tub, that will boost your occupancy. I will say my experience tells me that half the time with my vacation rentals, they never even use the hot tub. But there's this romantic notion about getting into a warm, bubbly tub after a day on the slopes in the winter months. So it will boost your occupancy. And if you have the ability to add a hot tub to your property, if there isn't one at the facility that you're at, that will certainly help with your occupancy. The next thing is lake views. I mean, who doesn't want to hang out and stare out the gorgeous, big, beautiful Lake Tahoe from your house? If you can afford it and it's in your price point, a lake view will always push up those rentals. Next, having a game space. So it's shocking. Everybody has these 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes. And it's kind of like, how do you choose between the 52 that are out there? If you can provide a game space, that would be amazing. I can't tell you, there's so few houses with pool tables, a pool table, that the ones that have them, honestly, their occupancy goes way up. So whether it's a pool table, ping pong table, foosball table, hell, have a card table and then a bunch of games all set up. It'll be great because you just never know. You know, in the summer months, it can get windy on the lake or you have those rainy days. And in the winter, you know, maybe the ski area is closed. So having a good supply of games, puzzles, or an actual, you know, game space with a pool table will absolutely help with your rentals. Next, beds. Please, folks, an uncomfortable bed is the first way to get a negative review on your house. So take the time to buy some new beds when you purchase your house. And also be sure to get good high thread count sheets. I mean, who doesn't want to dive into a buttery soft bed at the end of the day? So if you can get away from those sandpaper grit towels that have been used and washed 1,000 times and nice high thread count sheets, that would be great. Oftentimes property managers have their own linens, and if they do, well, don't worry about it. But if you can supply your own linens, have 2 complete sets so your house cleaner does not need to do all of the laundry during those back-to-back turns, but actually having 2 complete sets, and even honestly a third set so that one's always in flux and one's always at the house, would be super beneficial. Next, your dining space. So there's so many houses that actually will sleep like 8 to 10 people, but they only have a table that seats 6. So what do you do for Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's? You've got to supply a place for everyone to gather around the table and have a good time. So if you have to do bar stools and whatnot, I get it. But if you can get a dining table that is even smaller but can expand with a leaf and extra chairs that are stored in a closet, you will be able to capitalize on those holiday rentals. And next, the kitchen. Oh my goodness. I remember growing up, my parents would rent a house. You'd walk into the kitchen and there would be like 27 knives and one spoon. It doesn't work. So please ask your property manager for a list of all the items they would like in a kitchen. If you are doing Airbnb or VRBO, hey, just shoot me a message. We have a list of all the things that you should have in a kitchen. But the kitchen, it does cost a little bit of money to set it up. Not going to lie there. It's actually the most expensive room to furnish in a house. People don't often realize that. But when you start adding the coffee grinder and the coffee maker and the toaster and the waffle maker, it does certainly add up. But you will not get complaints and not have to run over equipment at the last minute. Speaking of equipment, in the summertime, having some fans is also very helpful. If you have single pane windows and your heat maybe isn't the best, or it takes a while to heat up your house, having some space heaters is also a good idea in those winter months. And last but not least, if you can find a house with a garage, that would be very, very helpful. People have very expensive cars and bikes and skis that they bring up to the lake. So having a safe place for them to store them is always helpful. Now, I know that most of the houses around the lake started off as summer cabins and they didn't have garages. So it's very expensive to build a garage. Don't worry about it. But if you can find a house with a garage or a carport, that'll be great. If you don't have a carport or garage, maybe consider installing an electric car hookup. There's so many people driving up with their Teslas and Priuses and other hybrid vehicles that if you have that electric car hookup, it's going to separate you, the wheat from the chaff. So I hope these tips have been helpful to you. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. But thanks for watching and let us know what else you'd like to know about Lake Tahoe. Talk to you soon.